So, Mark, did you see that giveaway that Rio has? We've been trying to get rid of the scooter gangs in Vegas, but now you can win one.
Yeah, what is Rio thinking here? I mean, we finally got rid of the COVID scooter gangs, or at least I feel like we did. Wild times. You remember them going down the escalators? That's probably why they're broke.
I don't know, but I mean, isn't this a great gift for the demographic of casinos? I mean, older people everywhere, travel portable scooter, $2,500. I mean, what a gift.
What does it say about Rio, though? This isn't Rampart.
So the Super Bowl happened on Sunday. On Monday's show, I talked about the parties and sort of the recap of all of that. But one of the takeaways from the Super Bowl, the offensive coordinator of the Seahawks, Clint Kubiak, has become the fifth head coach of the Raiders in the last 5 years. He is now our new head coach. So is this going to be the one to finally do it, Mark?
Yeah, I know it's been rough for the Raiders since early on. The year they went to the playoffs, Gruden had to resign early on in the year, and it's just been a struggle ever since. I don't know. I feel like this guy seems like a good hire. I mean, he comes from the stock. His dad was an NFL coach for a long time. So I think that helps him, that he'll have that sounding board there. And then it's just a question of, does he have the experience? It seems like every year he's pretty much hopping around jobs. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Well, they gave him a 5-year deal. And I mean, what does that mean in the age of the Raiders having a new coach every year? We thought Pete Carroll would save them. We don't know, but 2020, they were 8-8. They made their only playoff appearance in Vegas in 21 when they were 10-7. But since then, 6-11, 8-9, 4-13, 3-14. It's going in the wrong direction. Every year, we're just going to start with refreshed hope, and then we will see.
One thing for sure is we should get some really good sound clips out of Indiana quarterback if you guys draft him number one, because he says some weird stuff.
That'll fit perfectly here. But let's talk the Super Bowl hold. These numbers were pretty rough with the sports books and what they took in. So here's some of the headlines. The lowest take since 2016. The record was in 2024, the year the Super Bowl was in Vegas, at 190 million. So you can see a huge drop off there. Sportsbooks won 9.9 million for a total percent of 7.4%. That's about average. If you look at the history, there were $7 million bets, including one that came in at the last minute at circa $1 million bet plus 200 for the Patriots to win. That hurts, making that bet right before the game. The big thing was the prediction markets. They had crazy numbers, and that has to be hurting the business here.
Well, I mean, they made money, and if you look at the top year in 2024, what was it, 190 million was bet. I think they only cleared 11 million, something like that. So it wasn't that far off when you look at the take home for the books compared to that at the all-time high. So at least it wasn't bad in the essence of the money they made was still kind of somewhat in the realm of what was normal. It was just lower end bets than you would see previous years. And I was kind of shocked that even in 2021, when there's still COVID protocols and all that type of stuff, still brought in a little bit more money. But I think as long as they make money, they're happy, right?
Yeah, but it does show maybe business is going elsewhere. There's all this new competition. The Wild sort of West, we saw these ads during the Super Bowl for all of their competition. In Nevada, there's been a lot of rumblings about how we make it harder for people to make sports bets because you have to go sign up for an account in a casino, and that is a lot different than many other states where you don't have to do that. Overall, I talked on Monday's show also about low rates, people not visiting Las Vegas for the Super Bowl as much, and we seem to be experiencing that as well.
Well, I mean, that's one of the sky high cost weekends, unless you have comps and stuff. It's probably cost prohibitive to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's changing times. You've talked before on the show about how it used to be fun for March Madness, for these types of events, get your buddies together and go. And I do wonder if the sports betting apps, how prevalent they are, plus the cost, I mean, it's just keeping those types of trips from happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can make all the bets here that we could make there, and that wasn't the case back in the day. And then you can go to your favorite local pub, watch all the games, save a ton of money. So I can see why it's going to be a struggle. It's not the big draw that it used to be. But I mean, if you look at the numbers overall, it's still not that far off what we saw. So it's not like the world is ending and the amount of money they made is still up there with everything else. So I don't think it's as bad as people want to make it seem.
I also covered the South Point's food costs, the parties, all that stuff on Monday's show. So go ahead and check that out for more Super Bowl coverage. But let's pivot here and talk Slowjamastan, Mark. I had no idea what Slowjamastan was. I saw Chris Holmes share that he saw the Sultan of Slowjamastan on the Strip with his car. And then I deep dived into this micronation, which has 13 states on 11 acres in Southern California, not too far from San Diego. It was founded on December 1st, 2021. And I guess their biggest thing is they don't like Crocs.
I thought this was like a new music festival or something when I saw it on the rundown. I never heard of this before. I wonder how much it costs to open up a state there. MTM Vegas State. What do you think we got to pay?
I don't know. You can sign up to be a citizen. So anybody can go to their site and just put your name in, and then you become a citizen of Slowjamastan. Then you can pay more to get your picture and to become an official thing. And then I think all of the states are accounted for, but I didn't see the price for that. I don't know. This is interesting. They have a big sign there. If you're ever driving by it, you should go stop in and take a picture. They have events. I guess that's the best time. There are no buildings in Slowjamastan yet.
I like this. I saw, okay, on Wikipedia, so take that for what it is. Some prohibitions, including Crocs, mumble rap, people who put their feet on the dashboard, and eating string cheese by biting directly into it. I am 100% with the string cheese thing. Anybody that doesn't peel it is just weird.
Feet on the dashboard too. I think that we found our home, Mark. I think we found our home in Slowjamastan, and he came and visited Vegas. So there you go. I don't know. I've always loved the ideas of these micronations. There's several all around the world, and I didn't know there was one so close to home. So I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, let's go party there in the dirt because they don't have anything else.
As a reminder, we have our Patreon, access to our after show, all access streams, extra content, tons of stuff over there. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas. We have a great community of people. Thanks to everybody who supports us on Patreon. So let's head out to Primm. They, for a place that's dying, they seem to maintain themselves in the news quite a bit. And this came from Center Lefty POV, who does a lot of Primm stuff. I don't know who he knows. He has an inside source, but he confirmed that Wyndham is now part of Primm, the Primm Valley Resorts. I guess it's the Buffalo Bills Travel Lodge. I don't know, but Wyndham is now partnered with Primm Valley and then Buffalo Bills when it's open as a hotel. And I guess this is going to be good for Primm. Drive more business. What do you think?
Man, I was kind of hoping that this would get Buffalo Bills open more, and maybe that this will help get there. I don't know what kind of reach Wyndham has as far as getting people to book rooms there or anything like that, kind of what we've seen with Marriott at MGM, but it would be awesome if we could get Buffalo Bills open back up at least every weekend, something along those lines. Now we can just say Wyndham for Trim, right?
Absolutely. Travel Lodge, like I said, I think it fits out pretty good there. I don't know if anybody's going out of their way to book it, but it shows that the owners are trying to make moves. They're trying to make it sustainable. Obviously, an airport coming in 10 plus years. There's not much left out there compared to the heyday, especially when you add in the Gene casinos. So hopefully this works and they can the worst case scenario, right, is that these places close altogether.
Yeah, that would be a shame if we know that we're somewhat close to maybe seeing an influx of people coming through, maybe wanting to move out there, jobs, all that type of stuff. So hopefully they can figure out a way to hold on until the airport's open.
Well, let's move on to something else. Scaling the Strat. This comes out every year, and I just imagine how difficult this would be. I should try it, Mark, and I'm sure I would make it after 10 or 12 hours. But Scale the Strat. This is a yearly event for clean air. That's what they're trying to celebrate. And it's $35 to register, $50 if you do it on the day of the event. And it's just like it sounds. You scale the Strat. You climb up all the stairs to the top. It's 1,445 steps, February 22nd from 7 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It said Eastern on there. I don't know. Is it starting at 4 a.m. here in Vegas? Why would you put Eastern time on a Vegas listing? But there you go.
When I saw this, I was like, oh, wow, we're going to have the guy that climbed the Taipei 101 Tower, Alex, coming to Vegas and scaling on the outside of this thing. That would be epic. I don't think there's enough to hold on to climb that, but it seems like the steps are a little bit less than Eiffel Tower, which I know you've done, but we were talking and we wonder if the steepness of it is worse. So probably either way, it's going to kick your butt.
Yeah, but they encourage families, people to do it together. I think it's a cool event and it's unique. When do you ever get to do something like that? And I'm sure people get to take their time. I mean, in the end, it's a lot of stairs, but as long as you're able to do it and you can stop, I mean, that's sort of the key to it. But super unique. And I've never met anybody who did it. So let me know in the comments, what's the experience like doing it? Is it worth doing? Do you get anything else that's unique? I'm assuming you're in basically the bowels of the building. So good stuff there. But I did want to talk about the Dancing Waters of Desert Inn. And it's because I don't know a lot about the Dancing Waters of Desert Inn. And this was there for a long time, Mark, like basically opened in the 50s, not long after the hotel. And I think it was there till the end. And this is sort of like what the Bellagio fountains were. I mean, obviously much smaller, by the pool area. I know the Disneyland Hotel had a similar thing, and they had these traveling fountain shows, but I couldn't find any footage. I saw History Nevada talking about it. It looks really cool. Another example of a free piece of entertainment in Vegas history.
Yeah, that picture makes it look amazing, and that pool area looks really cool at night, all lit up with the fountains going, and I can only imagine the music going with it and the light show. I think it's really well done and surprising that it's been around forever and kind of the beginning to something we see at Bellagio. So cool to see that. And then I know you found a commercial from the 80s, and all I can say is I know all the bedspreads in the 80s look the same, but you can just like smell them. Like they all had a smell.
I mean, I will throw the commercial up here. This was a very uninspiring commercial. It's like, why should I visit there? I don't know. Like when you see that Flamingo 90s commercial we talked about last week, it's vibrant, it's fun, you want to be there. This 80s commercial, I guess Desert Inn was trying to be fancy and probably catered to a little bit of a different clientele. But yeah, I guess I didn't get as excited about that commercial as I did the Flamingo one.
Yeah, the spa tub looked kind of weird for being a high-end spa.
But I mean, why wasn't this talked about more in the history of Vegas? It just seems like we talk about so much of the history, and I don't see this covered very often. So yeah, did you get to see these? Let us know in the comments. Any more information? I reached out to Vegas Visual to see if he knows where there's any video of it, so maybe I can find some to throw up, but a cool piece of Vegas history.
Throw it up on the screen, Sean.
So I'm going to talk Absinthe and my experience there, but before I do that, I want to ask you guys to subscribe. Thousands of you watch this channel every single week, and don't subscribe. It's free. Hit the button down below. Help us reach 60,000 on a road to 100K. Thanks in advance. But let's talk Absinthe, Mark. This is the show that everybody talks about in Vegas, and I finally got a chance to experience it a few weeks ago. I'm not going to try to like go into all the backstory of it. I think a lot of people know what Absinthe is. It's a Cirque style show in a tent in front of Caesar's Palace, and it delivers. I mean, it's a very, very fun show, but it's still circus acts nonetheless.
Yeah, and it's kind of crude, right? That's what they always warn you about is the jokes, the humor is good, but you can't come in there expecting to not be mildly offended, or if you are easily offended, don't partake.
If you're easily offended, then don't go at all. I mean, that's what I would say. The humor is great. It's crude. It's very Vegas. This show is very Vegas, and that's why people love it. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's circus acts, but all the performers were great. It's very intimate because the tent is so small. I would say the one downside is the comfort of the seating. It's very sort of narrow seats, very hard seating, and very close together. Now, for the performance I was at, it wasn't sold out, so I didn't have like people on both sides of me, but it would have been a little bit uncomfortable for that, but you're very close. The humor is all there. They also have the garden area that you can go before, and anybody can go in there. And we've talked about the speakeasy before. That's sort of like set up like the yacht. The bartender has his captain's hat on, and it has like a little private patio area that you can go in there. But anything that's not the show itself, you can go in and enjoy all of that stuff before it. And it's just a great atmosphere, fun time, and very unique to be inside the Big Top on the Las Vegas Strip. So I definitely think it lives up to the hype and its reputation as a show, but these Cirque shows were never my favorite type of show.
What if you had to pay the full $175 or whatever for it? Then what would you think?
I mean, I always think this with show prices, but given the prices of shows, this is top quality entertainment, like the best at what they do, like really great circus acts, very good humor, very well performed, very well written. The energy level is there. You're getting an intimate performance too. It's not thousands of people in the showroom with you, and there's a lot of performers and a lot of acts. So I definitely think it's worth the money, and I enjoyed every second of it. It's just, I've seen a lot of Cirque shows, and again, that's probably reason why I hadn't seen it until now, and I just absolutely loved it. I think Spiegelworld, they just understand the humor, they understand how to put together a show in a lighthearted way, in an adult way, make you lean into that Vegas vibe.
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about this show, so if you're going to check out one show when you're in Vegas, I think like this would be the one. And I think I just want to reiterate the tip about being able to go to the outdoor garden area and the speakeasy and not needing a show ticket. Go check that out, kind of get the vibe from that. It's very similar to Disco Show, where a lot of people didn't know you could go into the bar even if you weren't going to the show. And I think those are two missed opportunities that people just walk right on by and don't even try to get in there, don't even assume they can get in there. So definitely check that out.
One other thing I did notice is all the staff there is super friendly and good. I mean, the bartenders, the security staff, the people at the doors, the ushers, everybody, it's just a really great product that they put together there. And then, yeah, at the speakeasy, don't forget that they have those caviar tots, so you can get caviar on your tater tots.
How much are they?
I don't remember. I'll try to see it, but I didn't order any. Yeah, just a cool experience. Like you're not gonna if you don't enjoy going to that show, I don't know what to say. Don't go to Vegas.
Damn.
Speaking of not going to Vegas, let's talk the MGM earnings call because the executive group, they got on a call, they talked about the earnings. In fact, I think they moved their earnings call up for MGM. I saw Mark Meltzer say that. But let's start with this quote from Bill Hornbuckle. Last year marked the return to a more balanced environment after several years of exceptional growth in Las Vegas. And even with the Las Vegas specific headwinds, we were able to achieve record full year slot win in 2025, driven by our luxury offerings. From this reset baseline, we see a path to grow in Las Vegas for the full year of 2026. So this is how they're spinning it. It's a reset baseline.
I mean, it's not too far off. It's just they're coming off of every year being the best ever, best ever, best ever, and now it's dropped back down, a little bit of a dip. And I don't think that's outlandish to say.
No, it's just a way of sort of setting expectations and saying, okay, we're going to rebound from here. Here's some of the numbers. Las Vegas Strip net revenues were $2.2 billion for the fourth quarter. That was down about 3% year over year. Small declines in the fourth quarter for MGM. But hotel statistics, occupancy 94% in 2024 Q4, 91% last year. So it's down a little bit. The average daily rate was down from 271 to 251. Revenue per available room down about 10%. So these are big numbers there. They did talk a lot about the MGM Grand renovation, how they had between 700 and 1,000 rooms offline at various parts of this year, most of the year. So that cost them about $65 million in their EBITDA. So that was an effect, but they have said that the room renovations have been very positive. And I mean, we've talked about those rooms before. They do look great, this new product that they brought to MGM Grand.
Yeah, I think that will help them a lot this year. One, the rooms being back online, and two, being able to charge a little bit more for them. MGM was kind of an afterthought. It didn't feel like a top tier property, even though that's what it always was in the history of the property. And now with this refresh, I think they can get more of that upper mid tier pricing. So I think that helped. But I know we need to talk about Luxor and Excalibur, right? The Dirty Castle, Dirty Pyramid.
Yeah, I mean, there was very much a disparity between the luxury properties and not. For example, Bellagio and Aria saw a 7% increase in their EBITDAR for 2025. So for the year, they saw a 7% increase, where properties like Luxor and Excalibur saw decreases, and they're feeling the pinch. And they talked specifically about it. They said that Luxor and Excalibur only account for about 6% of their EBITDA, and I'm sorry for using that word so much, but that's what they're using specifically. But it's about 6% of their business. But they talk about value strategies, what they did last year, the city's sale, other initiatives that they have coming. So we may see more deals like those margarita deals we see at Excalibur, all those beer specials, things like that. It's at least an acknowledgement to say, hey, we have two different kinds of customers here.
Yeah, I think that's what we were missing, all of last year or the last several years, is that disconnect that they thought everybody that comes to Vegas wants to spend big money or is okay spending big money, okay buying $18 mixed drinks. And it's like, no, the people that are going to Luxor and Excalibur want to enjoy Vegas, but they are on a budget, or they're likely on a budget, and they don't want to pay $12 for a beer. You need to be able to get them a $4 or $5 beer. Specials, time of day. However, you have to give them the availability to make their budget last for that trip. And I think that's why a lot of those people weren't booking those rooms. And they made a point to say it's only 6% of our business, but they still talked about it quite a bit. So I think it did affect their bottom line substantially enough for them to be able to mention it several times.
One other initiative that we've seen in Vegas over the last couple of years is digital check-in, or checking in at a kiosk. And they talk about that. They said that an 18% increase in digital check-ins last year. Now, they have a very good app, and I would say it's better than Caesar's version, but they're really trying to push people towards those kiosks, and this is going to be a huge move for them. One thing that I thought was interesting is they said the average digital check-in is 1.5 minutes versus 6.5 minutes when you go to the desk, not including wait time to get to the desk. And I still question, what the hell is it taking 6.5 minutes for? I mean, why can't they do it as quick at the desk as the kiosk could?
I don't know, because they're talking and asking questions and giving maps of the property, all that stuff. I still have not been able to have a successful kiosk check-in in Las Vegas on 4 different attempts now over the last couple of years. And I end up going to the desk because they say the room's not ready. I mean, the check-in goes fine. One time it didn't work, but the other times the check-in goes fine, even though it's well up past check-in time, like 8 o'clock at night, and they say no rooms are available. You go to the desk, they find you a room in 30 seconds. So the kiosk is great, but it doesn't always work, or most of the time in my experience.
A few other takeaways. They talked a lot about their new dining offerings. Carbone Riviera was a big mention, and so was Gymkhana at Aria. That's the Michelin star Indian restaurant that opened there. I spoke to my brother who just ate there this week. He said it's probably his favorite restaurant. He said a lot of fancy restaurants here in town. Says it's probably his favorite restaurant in town. Take that for what it is. New high limit rooms, obviously at Bellagio. Also talking about on the East Coast, this has been a huge boom for them, redoing their high limit slot rooms to get those affluent customers feeling all comfy and good. And then last thing, portfolio age. They noted that the average age of their Las Vegas rooms since their last renovation is now only 6 years as we move towards Aria desperately needing its renovation. Some say Cosmo needs it, but I would say Aria first. Vidara, there's some rooms that definitely need it, but their average room only 6 years old.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy when you look at hotels anywhere else. You wouldn't be anywhere close to that.
Yeah, and it does talk about the amount of money, the amount of capital investment you need just to keep the TVs getting bigger and the stuff like that. I mean, Cosmo was renovated, 10 years ago, and people are already saying, wow, it's long in the tooth. I think a lot of other hotels would love to get much further along than 10 years. Cosmo's only been open, 16, 17 years, so it's about to go into its second renovation. It's interesting. Aria, though, I mean, what have they been doing? They haven't renovated Aria since it opened. And here they are giving all this love, and Aria just withers away.
They need to give our boy Tim a call at Four Queens so they can get those cool showers.
Yes, state-of-the-art shower systems coming to all MGM properties. But I'd love to know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this earnings call. I don't think there's anything that's a huge surprise. It's interesting to see that they're finally talking about the lower tier properties and how they're going to address it and how they are sort of marketing this as a reset, the great reset for Las Vegas. Will 2026 be better? I don't know. Those Super Bowl numbers, are you surprised to see that the take was so low on that? The Raiders' new coach, everything else we discussed, leave a comment. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Plus EBITDA. Have a good weekend. Have a good week, everybody.
I hope I said it right.
Just say Wyndham from Primm, right? Now we can just say now we can just say Wyndham for Primm, right?